Hello, everybody. So I have moved some things around. Yay. But I'm back. I'm back. And I'm back with a beautiful message. Really. It truly is. So as I was getting ready to come on and do a quick card pull for the collective, especially those that watch my channel, that watch what I do, see what Spirit has for you. The message I was receiving was that of like a story. Okay, so it was really about, Spirit wants to know something. Spirit has something for you guys to think about. It's like, what if somebody told you, which I am going to tell you. So let's just say I'm telling you now that what's happening around you is a definite stripping away of any falsehood and what was fake. Okay? And what you're left with, the reality that you're now left with, is the ability to create anything you wanted. Anything at all. You can create anything you want now. The question is, what do you want to create? What are you thinking about continually? What are your thoughts on all the time? So if I told you you're actually creating your future by what you're thinking of, what you're afraid of, would you believe that? Like, what would you do with it? What is the future that you would create? That's Spirit's message. That's where you go. That is the reality in which we find ourselves in. That is the magic that we now house. It's like a wiping away of every bit of control in your life. Now, when I was in the worst abusive situation that I'd ever known, it was coming out of that was literally what I attributed it to was like a beat up pit bull that was caged for many, many years and then all of a sudden set free with 3 kids to raise. Like, that's kind of how I feel about what the collective is about to experience. It's like being in an abused cage, being beat up, tased, electrocuted, however you want to look at it, probed within a cage, within a small setting, with limited abilities, with limited aspects in how far you can take your thinking. Like, really, that's where we've been at. And now all of a sudden, we're shown some harsh truths and set free. What do we do with it? If we told you your power comes within your thoughts and your energies, some of you already believe that. Some of you can see that. Some of you already utilize it. Others, maybe it's time to play, right? That's what we mean by playing. In play, you are what? Joyful. This is a beautiful message, you guys. I love this. We are joyful. We're excited. We're in creative mode, right? We're in creative mode. What we see is not really what we see, and we imagine a different reality, and that's what true manifesting is all about. That's where your true abilities really are. That's the best thing for us to do right now, okay? On top of that, another really good thing to do is move the energy in your space, which is what I've done. Now I have my own different space that is just for the work that I do here, that is just for the healings that I do, and so on. Because I do a lot of things, you guys, and I do them differently. And so I needed something different. And so that's what I've done. I've moved things. I've created things. As I've done these things, new things are opening up. That's really how you move energy. It's really how you stay positive. If you're in a doomsday state of mind, if you're in a my world's end, gonna end state of mind, like I've seen some people actually, like I'm getting some negative feedback, and it's like, well, is that the world you want to create? What are you creating for yourself? Come on, what are you creating for yourself? What do you want to do? If Judgment Day is what they say, and it's what I say combined, what are you going to do? What are you going to create? Where are you going to go with it? What are you going to paint your reality to be? Let's start painting our reality. Okay, what a beautiful, beautiful message, really. there's another debate coming up that Spirit wants me to talk about. And I'm like, are you sure? Like, this only came up a while ago for me because somebody asked me, because they noticed with the work that I was doing. They'd watched me, and you can see what I do is real. And so they were curious, what do you think? And I asked Spirit, plus I know what I do. I know the work that I've done this last year and a half. I know the connection that I have with the earth and with the planets. And so I asked Spirit what they thought and whether the earth is either flat or round. And it's pretty silly. It's interesting to me. It's like, why is this coming back up? And I truly believe it's because the earth has been changing and everybody's feeling it. And so it's causing everybody to ponder the reality. And I think that's part of the reality that's never been solved. The best way that I have to answer this, so this is hard for me to say, but it's true. It needs to be said. It really does. Is the earth flat or round? Let me explain it this way. If I told you you're both right, would you believe me? If I told you take away the divide that separates the two of those things, are they flat or are they round? And if I tell you they're both, do you understand now? It's both flat and round. The planets are absolutely round. They're created like a ball of energy. That's the way Spirit wants you to look at the planets. They're each individual balls of energy designed with a specific function in and of itself, combined with the energies of relating to one another, much like our chakras do. Okay? Wow, that's the truth. That's what I see, feel, experience, and that's what they're showing me in this moment that I'm telling you. This is beautiful. Okay. And so certain planets, such as Earth, and such as some other ones, which they're throwing names at me. I'm just not very confident. This is a lot. Certain planets have certain abilities, okay? And so Earth was designed in such a way to where it is a round, energetic sphere, right? And in the middle, they call it like a gyrosphere, I guess you could call it. So in the middle is the flat land, okay? And that's how you can look at it. And no matter which way you tilt that energetic sphere, the flat center stays flat. Does that make sense to you guys? And so it reminds me of this ball. I don't know if it was my kid's toy, a toy that I remember from my childhood. I can't exactly remember, but it was a round ball. And within the ball, you have the flat thing that never deviates. It rotates to stay flat while the sphere is rotating around. Does that make sense? And so in essence, you combine them both. It is both flat and spherical. It is all energy, and she is very much alive and active and can talk to you if you're willing to listen. She may not talk to you like you would think, right? And so it's very simple in form. It's more spiritual in essence, but she is very much alive. And that's what it means by connect to her. What a beautiful message. And I hope that makes sense to you guys, as far as to what. And so the earth is like the mother, right? Like the mother, they're saying the mother of this bunch of planets, right? This grouping, the hemisphere. It's the mother of this section. And then all the others are basically like her chakra system. I guess you could call it that. So Saturn, all of the other planets have something in particular they bring to the table as well, okay? And I think science will catch up with that. Everything will catch up with that. But it really, truly is both, okay? And I promise you, it's what I see, it's what I feel, it's what I've experienced. And eventually, you'll be able to express that in form to where people can see it, so much like an updated map of what that truly means as we rise in consciousness. Okay, and so I've been kind of struggling too, you guys, and so that's the message. It's like, change something, let's make something new, you know, let's just as a card plays out. So I'm asking for a message for the collective, and especially for those that watch these videos and those coming in the future as well. What a beautiful, I hope that answers a lot of questions. I liked the way that came through. Honestly, it just makes me feel, I don't know why, but comforted, you know, like I've got great support. So I hope you guys feel that way too. That is really truly my goal. They're asking for 4 of these. And then I'll pull that one, a couple from my new deck, the Shaman's Dream. I got a new deck, new location. It's so cool. All right, so, oh, you guys, this is beautiful. This truly is a beautiful message, and it makes a lot of sense. And it's actually similar to one I pulled recently for myself, okay? The first card is Major Arcana, Shadow. I'm backwards from what I used to be, so forgive me. Woo. Hey, there we go. Look at that. Check it out. You can see it. Whoop, whoop. Okay, Shadow. Number 18, 1 in infinity is what I'm seeing here. It's like really represents doing the work to grow spiritually, right? And in this essence, they're referring to the shadow. The shadow side. I think that we all have shadow work to do, but the earth is also doing shadow work right now. Okay, that's kind of what's happening. It's like when you do shadow work, you bring that shadow to the surface, and now it's time to really dance with that and turn it into the light. Okay, and that's really the goal, you guys. That's okay, so that's the message here. It's like, what is the purpose of shadow work? Is it to shun the shadow? Is it to eliminate the shadow? Is it to erase the shadow? I think that's where we have it wrong. Everybody's like, I heard somebody talking about like a doomsday scenario, like the forgotten souls. And I'm like, well, do you want to be a forgotten soul? So again, you know, we need to dance with the darkness. We need to do our best to incorporate everybody into the light. And you do that by sharing your light. Just share your light. Give people a pathway to follow. Give people the light to see. And that's really what we're supposed to be doing right now, is trying to get everybody to, the goal is everybody is worthy. Everybody is worthy and capable. All they have to do is open their eyes, right? Literally. And so that's part of that shadow. What do we do with the shadow is what they're saying in essence. Pay attention to that. Do we shun the shadow, or do we try to love the shadow and dance with the shadow? Shine the light in the shadow. You know, you don't just shun the shadow. Be very careful with doing that. And again, that's that judgment. That's also what I'm hearing, right? But I'm also hearing do the work to ascend on ourselves too. So I think we all have shadow pieces to eliminate, as well as the earth, as well as every other bit of what I've talked about within that card. What a beautiful message. Okay. And then it's all about creating a firm foundation now. So what do you do when you have new land to be on, right? It's about creating the pathways and making sure you're on a firm foundation. Where do you stand? Where do you believe? Where are your, here I'm hearing morals and values. Like I really am. What are those morals and values? Are they yours, or are they somebody else's? Now it's really time to pay attention to all of that. Like, right? Who are you surrounded by? I'm hearing as well. What support do you have around you? Who are you surrounded by? What is your foundation? It's time to make sure that we are open in our root chakra, that we are planted, that we are on our firm foundation. Okay, be on that firm foundation. Super important right now. I don't know. It's kind of working, huh? Okay. Anywho, I gotta kind of hurry. I got an appointment coming. Woo-hoo. I'm kind of short. The next one is another major arcana. Okay, and so this is very much so root chakra, grounding, rooted in the earth. Okay, pay attention to our shadow side. What do we do with the shadow side? We love the shadow side. We don't shun the shadow side. We love it. We dance it. We integrate back into it. Right? It's that, again, that stay out of judgment. That's very important. People are like, oh, you're going to be judged and sent to hell. That's actually not the goal. The goal would actually be, let's make the more go with us that we can, right? Let's get everybody going. Let's get everybody further into the light. It's really what it's all about. Rising in consciousness, you guys, is rising further in light. It's rising further in who we are and your abilities, and love. Love for each other. Not, that's where everything has it wrong. It's like not judgment of each other, not fear. Like, where do you want to make your reality? All right, But pay attention to your surroundings. Always. We always have that choice. This is another major arcana, another one about spiritual growth. Solitude, okay? Take the time to integrate everything we learn. That's what I'm hearing here. Super important to take the time to sit in silence and integrate what we have learned, right? Allow the light to come through. Allow the light to integrate into your newness, into who you are, to create the changes within your energetic field, right? Like reading the book. You take the time to read each word and to dissolve the meaning. And you do that step by step, right? Like each piece of the newness of the puzzle, each piece of the newness of the story, you take it in step by step, okay? And so that's what they're really talking about here. Make sure you're making the choices to integrate the newness, to integrate the new things and allow the old things to fall, is what I'm hearing as well. Okay? It's a choice we make. It really, truly is. And then, of course, last but not least, foundation and achievements, okay? The foundation in which you're creating here. So it's another 4 as well. We've got support, spiritual growth. Foundation and achievements. It's all about the foundation you're creating, right? The choices that you're making, who you're choosing to love and shine light into, and what you're choosing to love and shine light into in order to create the best foundation and achievements for yourself and your loved ones. Okay? And again, don't think for a second that the work you do for yourself doesn't affect your loved ones, right? It really truly does, and that's what they're reminding me as well. I really kind of like this setup so far. It's kind of rocking. Okay. Now I'm going to pull from my other new deck. This one, I really like it so far. The Shaman's Dream. It seems very simple, but I really do enjoy the depth of the messages that come through with each card. All right, let's see what it has to say. For the collective, but especially for those of you who watch this channel. I'm seeing the number 11. So spiritual growth, spiritual ascension is upon us. Isn't that what they talk about? Okay, they wanted 3 of those. Okay. All right, you guys. So unmarked trail, revelation, right? We are embarking upon new journeys. This is unmarked territory. That's what I'm telling you guys, and that's what Spirit's message is you're really truly have the ability now to create your reality. That's what they're talking about. It's not like it once was. So again, if your whole world, all the false control, all the false grid was just removed, which it was, that's what I've been talking about, what I did. It's really going into the ability of creating your own reality. What have you karmically done? What have you been willing to clear? That's what it is. That's all you got to do, right? Like, simple. It really truly is. It's not as hard as we're making it out to be. And it's not as scary either. And that's why be mindful of what you focus on and the reality in which you're creating. What steps do you want to have in place? How do you want those steps? Do you want them smooth? Do you want them cornered? Do you want them rounded? Do you want them in flow? Things like judgment, things of that nature cannot go with you, and that's why those are coming to the surface to be released. But it's just about releasing them, right? This is an unmarked trail. You got new revelations at hand. Create your beautiful reality, right? So it's creating your beautiful reality. You're supported. Pay attention to your thoughts, the work you're putting in. Where are you going? What are you doing? I feel like that one goes with that one. Then you have jeweled web, connectivity. And to me, this is all about, again, we're all connected, energetically woven, energetically entwined. We hurt the same and we love the same. We do things a little differently. We're all independently connected, okay? And some people take when we say we're all connected to a deeper level, but we truly are individual as well. But what we do does affect each other, and what others do affect us on a deep, deep level. And so it's super important to remember that. And again, I feel like this goes with that, take the time to integrate the work that's going on, the new lightness that's going on, because if you can do that, then it affects others as well. Okay? And make sure you're creating that firm foundation. I feel like that goes with this one as well. Because this one keeps coming up, Falling Angel, Spiritual Narcolepsy. So I'm going to read the book on this one just because I'm really, truly curious. What I feel with this card is it's super important to stay spiritually connected. We have to make sure that we don't fall prey into what we don't want to fall into, okay? And so what I'm hearing here also, right? So do the work to rise spiritually is super important. Because, you can anchor in, so we can unintentionally anchor into where we don't want to go at times. It's like if you don't have a foundation, right? If you don't have a foundation, if you don't have beliefs, if you're kind of floating in no man's land going, hoo, I'm already up here in ego, generally speaking, then you're likely and susceptible to anything, right? Rather than where your soul would truly want to go. So that's what I feel into this card. So really quick, let me read the book on that one. I haven't yet. Again, this is still a new deck, but I don't read the book often. I tell you guys that. Okay. 19, Falling Angel. Falling unconscious, spiritual narcolepsy. You are being cautioned now to not fall asleep or go unconscious. You have been flying above the strife and suffering of the world in angelic bliss. However, remember, flying up there in ego. However, you risk being seduced by the beauty and comfort of your situation and losing track of your aspirations. Your wings, as you fall, you picked up speed, heading toward the trees below and a possible nasty landing. Remembering that all you need to do to stop being a falling angel is spread your wings to halt your descent and then find an updraft again. Do not be seduced by the fallen angels. Your supposed friends and companions who are ready to use you for their pleasure, and I've experienced this a lot lately, you guys, people treating me differently, not nice, not kind. Remember, I can feel your energy, it sucks. And have only their own interests in mind. As you soar once more in flight, receive the gift of the falling angel as an invitation to study the forest from above the trees. In other words, to analyze your situation from a higher perspective without being entangled in its thorny branches, okay? So to be able to stay up there, to stay above things, to see things clearly without falling into either side, right? Action you take now may backfire. Stay conscious and wait until you are guided to change. You will know when the time is right. Okay? So again, be careful with that energy. Make sure you stay outside of it rather than falling into either side. Because if you don't believe in something, you're likely to believe in anything, right? And so stay in the middle. Stay open that everything is possible. Everything is changing. And that's really what it's all about. It's about what you're anchoring into, who you're allowing yourself to realize we all affect each other. And so that means, do I really want to hurt people? Because when I hurt them, I hurt myself as well. Like, this is all a unity web. It's an unmarked trail, meaning there's new revelation into who we are, into the abilities we house, to what freedom truly is, right? So, like the beginning of my message, if we told you we have taken away all that control, all of those things, and you now truly have freedom, everything you create comes from your imagination. It's best to create it from a firm foundation, allowing the new light codes, new energies, new healings to come through in solitude and in moments of silence, connecting to self, meditating, allowing the new energy to come through, the new knowledge, and then miracles can come up, new achievements can come through, and you're always supported in staying in that firm foundation. Okay, and you do this by simply just working on your shadow. Allowing that shadow to surface and sending love and light into it is all you have to do. And remember, that's the key part they're telling me with that one. Shine love and light into your shadow. I feel like this one really goes with that. Shine love and light into your shadow, right? The jeweled web of connectivity. Do not judge anybody. Shine love and light. Celebrate them. Maybe you don't know where they come from and why they act like they do. Celebrate each other, celebrate them. I love this message. I hope you enjoy. Now I hope you guys can remove the divide of what the earth is. You're both right. It's flat and it's round. Enjoy. I love you guys. Stay in all of this. I love this message too. Bye-bye.